All right, y'all, welcome back. Welcome back. So, we're going to talk about why Atlanta is one of the worst places to actually find love. Now, I didn't say worst places to date because it's a great place to date. It's ranked one of the best cities for singles, actually. But as far as finding that one person that you want to settle down with, it's going to be one of the worst cities. I'm going to be honest with you. And there are a bunch of reasons why this is. So we're going to go ahead and get into them. Of course, the first thing we need to talk about is there is a big gender imbalance. Now, the data doesn't show this, but when you go out on these streets and you go out to these clubs, bars, all these places where people gather and they mingle, you will find there's a huge imbalance. There's a lot more women than men. You're going to see this every time you go out. I mean, it's like clockwork. They don't stop coming. And a lot of people realize this, and the men consider themselves to be of higher value down here because they have their pick. So they're a little bit more choosy when it comes to the women that they end up settling down with down here, especially the successful guys, that the women are looking for, the ones over 6 feet, drive a nice car, no kids or whatever. Those guys are going to be a little bit more choosy when it comes down to the women that they actually settle down with. That's going to be one of the things that's going to hold a lot of people back from actually finding somebody is, for one, there's just so many choices. You go out in these streets, you go out to the bars, the clubs or whatever, and you see thousands of baddies. A lot of guys just choose to stay single down here. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of guys will choose to stay single and be able to go out whenever they want to and do their thing because it's so many choices. I've heard this even compared to when back in the day we had maybe 50 channels on TV, but we could always find something to watch, right? Nowadays we got 10 streaming services and we can never find anything to watch. Why? Because there are too many choices, way too many choices, and you end up scrolling on your phone anyway. And then at the end of the day, this causes a huge silent competition between the women, which isn't good for anybody because at the end of the day, if they start hating each other, if the women ain't having a good time, nobody's having a good time. That's generally how it goes. And we got this big thing about high expectations down here. I blame Hollywood because everybody thinks they're going to move to Atlanta and meet the person of their dreams because of a Tyler Perry movie. Everybody thinks they're going to move down here, and the women think they're going to move down here and meet some 6'4", business guy who's a millionaire, lives alone in his mansion. It's just him and his dog. And the fellas think they're going to move down here and meet some yellowbone IG model with no past. It's not going to happen, y'all. It's not going to happen. Chances are very slim. I'm just going to be honest with you. Chances are very slim. But the standards are high. And like I said, I blame Hollywood. I blame social media. I blame love and hip hop. I don't know why people think that fairy tales live in this city. They don't. It's just like any other city when it comes to the people that want to date down here, okay? They come in all different shapes and sizes, just like every other city. So you're not going to come down here and see more attractive people. You may see more black folks, but you're not going to just see automatically more attractive people if you come down here. I don't know why people say that. But another thing is everybody knows everybody. So, you may be talking to a girl, you may be dating somebody, and guess what? Boom, she knows one of your homeboys. Or I've seen this happen. A couple goes out to a club and the woman happens to know one of the staff, like a bouncer or a DJ, and the guy just totally hates it. I mean, just sits up there and has the worst time because his girlfriend hugged the bouncer when she walked into the club because she knew him or she knew the DJ or something. Everybody knows everybody. The circles run extremely small down here. So that creates, a hostile environment from time to time. I'm not going to lie, because that's one thing dudes hate is if you know more people than they know, especially in a spot that they like to go to. And of course, we got transplants. So many people are not from Atlanta and move down here for a season. They vacation down here or whatever. And they don't want to form roots down here. They just want to have this as a segment of their life. So you're going to have a lot of people that come out here and don't want to actually settle down. These people come out here and they just want to party, or they want to go to school, or they want to do this. A lot of these people don't want to make a life here. They're just using Atlanta as a stepping stone to get somewhere where they need to get, because it's a huge hub for business. So a lot of these people are down here for business, or they're down here for some type of vocational training or something. So they end up spending a little bit of time down here. And if they end up falling in love, oh well, they going back home to whatever state they came from. And that's generally how it goes. But like I said, the influence of social media, the influence of TV has people thinking that they're going to come down here and all their dreams are going to come true. And the men in Atlanta are just going to flock to you because you're such a beautiful young lady and blah, blah, blah. No, you're going to be in so much competition with these chicks out here. Like I said in the other video, everybody has a big old booty. That's just how it goes down here. You're going to go out, you're going to see 10 big booties before you even get to the first stoplight. All right. So if that's what you're thinking is going to save you down here, it's not. It's common. It's a common occurrence. And of course, one of the biggest problems is image over substance, y'all. A lot of people down here, they go for the flashy and not for the connection. Okay, it's two different things. And I've seen this firsthand. All it takes is a nice chain, a nice car. Those two items can get you about 80% of the women outside, okay? And I know a lot of cities have that problem, but Atlanta hits different. When I tell you this, it hits different. It's bad down here, okay? And a lot of people just, they want the clout. I'm going to be honest with you. They want the clout of being associated with something that's flashy. They want the clout from being associated with something that is seen on social media, and they can, you know, post up with their friends and say, oh, look, I was in the Lambo, this, that, and the third. You know, that runs rampant out here. It's a huge problem. But at the end of the day, and of course, we got a hookup culture, like I said, just like every other city. But Atlanta, it's different, y'all. It hits different. We got a lot of people that just want to hook up. And this includes the ladies. I've seen it. This includes the ladies. They go out and they get addicted to the nightlife. Okay, the nightlife down here, it's crazy because there's so many different subsectors of the nightlife. Okay, you can be in Buckhead partying, you can be downtown on Edgewood partying, you can go to Decatur and party, you can go down to the South Side party in Camp Creek. It's so many different sides of town to party on, with so many different cultures baked in those towns. So a lot of people get addicted to that. They get addicted to the variety of just going out, being on the scene. They don't even want to be in a relationship or settle down or locked down because that's going to impede on them going out and living this fast life. Okay. And a lot of that is going to be the hookup lifestyle. I'm not going to lie. A lot of these people, they're going to have a one night stands. That's not something that's foreign to going out and clubbing. Okay. A lot of times that's the byproduct of going out to these bars and these establishments. It is what it is. But that's what's going to keep you from finding the right person at the end of the day. Because I'm going to be honest with you, as a man, if you find out a woman just hooked up with somebody right before you met them, you're probably going to be like, no, I'm good. I'm good. So, I mean, that's just one of those things where you got to come to terms with, or you got to find somebody that's just not in that lifestyle. So it is what it is. And of course, everybody's in that hustle mentality down here. If you live in Atlanta and you've been in Atlanta for over 2 to 3 years, you got a hustle mentality because ain't no way you can make it out here without it, unless you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. But along with that hustle mentality comes no time. You don't have time to find love. You don't have time to go on 2-3 dates a week and chill with shorty and get to know her and meet her parents. You out hustling. You working, you're trying to build a brand, you're doing something, okay? And a lot of this impedes on that time it takes to find love. Yeah, you may have time to date a little bit, you know, mess around a little bit, but a lot of that time is gonna be better spent on your hustle, on your purpose. And a lot of people down here know that, because to be down here, you have to know that. So that's one thing that makes it almost impossible to be out here and actually find love. And you'll start to realize dating is almost a little transactional down here. You know, you start to hear that question, what can you do for me, over and over and over. And it becomes so repetitive that you're like, hold on, what is this? Am I paying for this? Like, what is going on? You know what I mean? It's one of those situations to where, you know, some people, they insist on just not settling down with anyone because it's a lot easier. Now, please don't get me wrong. You can definitely find love down here. 100%. You can. But it's not going to be easy. You got to move a little bit differently down here. That's all I'm saying. All right. And if you're trying to find love down here, I wish you the best of luck. And I hope you do. But let me know what you think about this in the comments. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you have a different view, or have you experienced something different finding love in Atlanta? I want to know. And as always, if you like what you see, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.